Yes, I did it for the first time. A 72-hour fast, only water allowed, and if I could do it, so can you really. Hey, look, I'm alive and well. In fact, I feel fantastic. Those of you familiar with my book, It Really Is Simple, A Holistic Approach to Self-Confidence, already know that I am big not only on whole food, organic, plant-based nutrition and exercise, but also on daily liver detox, to which I've dedicated a detailed discussion in Chapter 7. But fasting had been something on my radar for a while. I mean, fasting longer than 13 hours, which I do routinely, at least twice a week anyways, and that's not even intentional, but mostly due to my schedule. The intermittent 13-hour fast has excellent health benefits of its own, and if you have a busy schedule, you may not find it challenging at all. I've been doing it for over a decade now, so it's become a habit. However, since I absolutely love to eat, a 72-hour period of only ingesting water seemed like quite a challenge to me. I must give credit where credit is due to nutrition and functional health expert Dr. Mindy Pelz for the inspiration through her amazing videos, books, and interviews. Thanks to her indirect encouragement, I finally set aside some time and did it. 72 hours, only water, no food. You see, there are a couple of psychological elements that always play a role in my decision-making process, which I'd love to share with you in this video. I don't know how it works for you, but these two in combination just get me going on a new challenge and I kill it. The first component is to thoroughly embrace the benefits of the challenge mentally, because these are the major factors that spike intense curiosity in me. And the second thing is that I just love proving to myself that I can do it because I've made a decision. In the case of this 72-hour fasting adventure, which should be done about twice a year at least, there is the added benefit of it being the ultimate exercise in character building for those of us who simply love to eat, right? Let me first tell you about the awesome health benefits that make this resilience test so worthwhile, and then I'll let you know how it went for me, so you know what to expect should you choose to give it a shot. It's about a process called autophagy. During this process, our cells self-cleanse by pushing out viruses and bacteria and by getting rid of bad, mutating, ill-functioning cells that consume the body's energy without contributing to its health. That way, the body can more effectively produce new healthy cells with the reclaimed energy. It's all about body economy, you know. What better way to refresh an economy than by ridding it of its bureaucrats and parasites? A fasted state is what triggers autophagy, as the blood sugar levels drop and the body switches to that fasting state at about the 8-hour mark. At 12 hours, the brain gets super excited and there's increased mental clarity. Then within the 13 to 15-hour time frame, growth hormone levels go up, the CRP marker, which is the inflammation marker, goes down, and the aging process slows down as well. At 17 hours, autophagy begins. So at 24 hours, the gut repairs its lining of stem cells. At 36 hours, the body starts burning fat, like in the abdominal area. Then at 48 hours, new dopamine receptor sites emerge in the brain, rebooting the dopamine system. And at 72 hours, the whole immune system recycles itself. Look, I don't know about you, but I have always loved the idea of helping the body improve the quality and production of its very own resources. So how did it go for me? Yet another person with an atrocious appetite. Well, I'll tell you that if there is anything more powerful than my appetite, it's my stubbornness. Nothing gets me going better than the desire to prove to myself that I can do something when everybody and their mother tells me it's really hard to do. Funny how that works, huh? I chose to start my 72-hour fast at 10:30 p.m. on a Sunday, and I broke my fast at 10:30 p.m. on the following Wednesday. Having a good night's sleep at the beginning of a fast seemed like a good idea. I also allowed myself intermittent naps here and there to catch up on some well-needed sleep and to also keep my mind as far away from food-related thoughts as possible. In addition, I made sure to keep myself really busy throughout the day, so I did plenty of reading. I had like 3 books lined up and did my best to stay focused on these for quite a few hours each day, and that really helped. Day 1 was a blast. I was so curious and full of enthusiasm, particularly after my habitual 13-hour fasting period that's already pretty routine for me, so it wasn't a big deal at first. I hydrated several times an hour and thought, great, this is awesome, just 2 more days to go. Come day 2, Tuesday, which again started with a good night's sleep as I had initiated the fast at 10:30 p.m. on a Sunday. So Tuesday morning I was already at 36 hours by 10:30 a.m. And that's when I began feeling it. I was diligently reviewing all the health benefits as they kept compiling with each respective time increment. So I knew that at 36 hours I was burning fat. The problem being I don't really have any extra fat to burn. Autophagy had already started 17 hours into the fast, so my body was at hour 19 into that process, and I really got to appreciate the amount of energy the body puts into its own cleansing and revitalizing process. Having noticed that I was feeling significantly weaker than the day before, I found myself compelled to pay closer attention to my surroundings and take my time while doing things. My reaction time was still pretty fast mentally, and my vigilance doubled, but physically it was a whole different story. I even purposely took a longer nap on that day and kept hydrating and reading my 3 designated books in the meantime. It was a truly remarkable physical transformation within that 24 to 48 hour part of the 3-day fasting period. Then on the 3rd day, things changed. I felt more energetic because my mind was well aware I only had 14 hours left to go, and that seemed like nothing compared to what I had already been through. It was actually very similar to biking 10 miles at full resistance or running 5 or however many miles, in the sense that the last mile is the easiest as the mind knows victory is near. I went out and spent a couple of hours grocery shopping, just moving slower than usual, and then a couple more hours cleaning the produce without taking a single damn bite, just looking at the clock. It was interesting being surrounded by 60 pounds of fresh, colorful, clean organic produce and just observe how pretty this forbidden bounty was until 10:30 p.m. that day. I felt great overall, clear-minded, light, refreshed, and of course proud. At 10:30 p.m. that Wednesday, I broke the fast with a healthy fatty plant, an avocado, because this type of fat tapers off hunger, and a probiotic-rich food per Dr. Peltz's recommendation. She mentions sauerkraut. In my case, the probiotic was an organic pickle. Never expected an avocado and a pickle to taste so good together, by the way. A great way to go through a fast is to also include some mild to moderate cardio. Just pay attention to your body from day 2 onward and don't get injured. Final thoughts on the 72-hour fast, which I absolutely intend to repeat in 6 months. You know how oftentimes we are really good at placing demands on others and expecting them to keep their word, yet we don't tend to hold ourselves as accountable nearly as often, right? It is such inconsistent behavior that can easily result in loss of credibility by eroding other people's trust in us. And even more importantly, it can just as easily erode self-respect. This is why I very strongly believe that a challenge like this, abstaining from food for 3 full days for the sake of giving the body an opportunity to increase the efficiency and availability of its own resources, has an added benefit, and that is the invaluable opportunity to keep a promise you gave to yourself. It strengthens your ability to perceive yourself as a person just as significant, as relevant, and as deserving of integrity as any other human being that for whatever reason you may have at some point chosen to prioritize over yourself and your own needs. Think about it. Keeping a promise to yourself and building solid trust in yourself and your capabilities. Of course, a 72-hour fast is just one of many ways to practice this type of character building that makes you a stronger, more resilient, more confident individual over time because you've made yourself endure through a situation that is quite uncomfortable and unappealing to many, regardless of the amazing benefits that have long been proven to come with it. Needless to say, I highly recommend the experience if you're the type of person who appreciates a healthy challenge, both physically and mentally.